Oh, come on, dude, what the hell? Why isn't it working? Oh, come on! Oh, I have to use SNES tool? Really? I haven't used this in like 10 years. What the heck? Oh, you have to use SNES tool and then this thing's very own special patching application just to get it to work. What year is it? Aw, yeah. All right, let's see what this intro looks like. Oh, we're in for a treat, aren't we? If you clicked on this video, you likely have at least some familiarity with composer and indie game development legend Toby Fox. If nothing else, you're probably familiar with his 2015 indie RPG Undertale. Or maybe the successor he's currently working on, Deltarune. And if not that, you might be familiar with the music he composed for Homestuck. But before he did all of that, he made 2 ROM hacks for the Super Nintendo video game Earthbound, better known as Mother 2 in Japan. And these were called Radiation's Halloween Hack, Bad Fur Day Edition, and Arn's Winter Quest, Gway Edition. That's Gway, G-W-A-Y. Now, the Halloween hack is undoubtedly the better known of these two, mostly for its shockingly dark tone and mature themes, and let's just say notorious twist ending. And it's kind of an old shame for Toby Fox nowadays, and he doesn't really like it when you talk about it, so he probably won't like it if I talk about this, because this is even older. The Halloween hack was made in 2009. This was made in 2006, a full 3 years earlier. No, even more, because it was January 1st of that year. That was before Obama became president. I was still in middle school. That's how long ago this was. Anyways, as far as I can tell, this is the first project Toby ever worked on, and it was for some sort of ROM hacking contest for Earthbound fan site Starman.net, where people would put ROM hacks for fun. You know, it's an Earthbound community, so that's not too surprising, I suppose. So if you played Earthbound, you probably know what to expect. It's a box standard RPG with a couple of extra flourishes to make it not super dull. But the biggest substantial change here by Toby is that status effects actually have a reason to be there. Most enemies, including bosses, are vulnerable to them, but we'll cover that as we go. But for now, I think we should just jump into things because there's a decent amount to cover here. Before we get started, we have to set up a few things, like whether we want our text speed to be good, bad, or ugly, if we want the difficulty to be tough or hard, and what flavor we want the dialogue boxes to be. In addition to that, we have to name our character, name Ness, name an orange, name a dog, name our favorite food, name our favorite form of transportation, name our abilities, and name our blood type, give them our medical records, insurance number, social security number, credit card number, and the 3 digits on the back. That being done, we're introduced to what appears to be an endless ocean in the middle of nowhere, with a frozen over island in the middle. This is where our hero, our protagonist, Arn Ty Ripped, lives. Yeah, his name is Arn Ty Ripped. I'm dead serious. Apparently, Arn is a blonde homeless person wearing a trash bag that likes to sleep against the wall of a log cabin in the middle of an icy mountain, in the middle of the ocean, in the middle of nowhere. Anyways, he's awoken by the sound of something crashing into his, I think it's his house, and that something turns out to be none other than Paula. I mean Ness. I mean Paula. This is Paula now. You're Paula now. I said your name's Paula, so you're Paula now.
Okay.
Paula spends a completely and totally incomprehensible yarn about going to a party, celebrating something called EB no Matsuri, or Earthbound no Matsuri, I guess. Something about an annual gift man who is different from Santa somehow, giving good boys and girls copies of the SNES game Earthbound from 1995, and giving bad boys and girls flesh-eating fiery. And he's talking about how he's gonna go through a party because they're not gonna get fiery, and then he wants to prove to you that Santa exists, or the annual gift man existed. Okay. Stay calm. Let's continue.
What's going on, dudes and dudettes? It's me, Aren't I Ripped here? I'm a nice guy, and I'm gonna tell you what's wonderful about getting totally shit-hammered!
After a 6-day-long bender, you drunkenly stumble outside and begin conversing with talking animals, secretly wondering to yourself all the while where your life went wrong. This star thing over here is a save point, and it looks kind of familiar, doesn't it? All these animals want to talk to you about is advice on how to play the game. I'm not 5 years old, damn it. Just let me kill things. They labeled a plot device? Come on, really, Toby? Really? I just want to go places, come on! Since literally the only place we can go is this incredibly ominous cave in the middle of the snowy wasteland, I guess that's gonna be our first destination, because we can't go nowhere else! And apparently, according to somebody named Nico, this cave belongs to somebody named Mr. Higgins. Who are these people? Oh, this is just riveting design, isn't it? This is a giant maze. That's how you know that you're just stalling for time. Come on! You don't need to be so blatant about it. Make it longer. Give me some interesting scenery. Give me something interesting to... What the heck is that? Is that a waffle? It's a waffle! Waffle House is attacking! Oh no! Oh my god, holy shit, the waffle is aggressive! What the fuck? We just got our ass handed to us by a waffle! Oh my god, where the fuck are we? Why are there zombies? Why are they elves? Why are they zombie elves? Where are we?
Welcome to the anti-void, motherfucker!
Oh yeah, we're playing a ROM hack, aren't we? So if you die, you just get teleported to this nightmare dimension where you're neither dead or alive. So if you die, you might as well just reset, honestly. Let's continue and try to get this over with. So while we go through the maze, we collect items and fight some Christmas-themed enemies, so that's pretty neat. All these enemies are really badass though, and they're kind of nonsensical. I mean, waffles? Bats? For crying out loud, one of the enemies you fight is a fucking squirrel!
I'm a fucking squirrel!
Not only that, it's a squirrel that knows karate and can totally kick your ass! Oh, all these signs say complete nonsense. It's just, what in the world is happening?
I didn't set the house on fire! Joffrey did! The cave of Mr. Higgins! I didn't knife the brick, it knifed itself!
What? Why would you do this? Why would you do this? Toby, you son of a bitch! Why would you do this? Why would you put a sign where I can't get to it? I want to read the fucking sign, but I can't because there's no way to get to it. No joke, I enabled a walk through walls code just so I could read what was on this stupid fucking sign. And was it worth it? No. I hate it when game developers do that. It's like they're taunting you. Oh my god, I have so many questions. Who the fuck is the annual gift man? Where are we? Who are these people? Who the fuck is Joffrey? Who the fuck is evil Mr. Nico? What the fuck is going on? Give me a sec, I gotta take my brain out. Oh, he didn't like that, did he? Sorry, little buddy. Anyways, we're finally ready to take on Mr. Nico and get down to business.
Hey, who are you and what are you doing here?
More like, what are you and why are you doing here?
Spaceship?
Aren't we supposed to be going to the moon?
Okay, so I didn't talk to anyone in town. Sue me. Time to change the topic. What are you doing cutting out large amounts of paper squirrels and building houses over living holes?
I didn't do it! Joffrey did!
Let's get out of here. This guy's as crazy as a crumpet.
But why, Joffrey? Why?
Joffrey is creating civilization for the poor, defenseless animals. And by animals, I mean paper squirrels cut out of and drawn all over math homework.
Stop doing it or we'll kill you. You annoy me.
I am nothing. I am everything. I am hungry. And I will consume you!
What?
Perdition!
So basically, evil Mr. Nico is a psychopath that blames everything that he does on somebody that doesn't exist named Joffrey. He blows shit up and wrecks things, and you've got to make him take responsibility for his actions. And in the time it took me to say that, he's already completely fucking obliterated my entire party. Get used to that happening, by the way, because that's going to be a recurring thing. Ugh, time to grind. So I didn't mention this before, but park benches completely restore your health because in the game's own words, sleep does good. After a lot of grinding, and I mean a lot of grinding, probably like 30 or 40 minutes worth, we're ready to take on Mr. Nico again, and spoiler alert, we do a lot better this time. Speaking of Mr. Nico, I'm going to take this opportunity right now to talk about how the bosses in this game work. You see, all the bosses in this game are much, much stronger than you. They can do a lot more damage, and they have a lot more options. And if you don't grind, you're gonna fall behind. But you don't necessarily need to grind if you know what strategy to use, because the bosses all follow relatively predictable patterns with weaknesses and the like. For example, Mr. Nico will laugh hysterically or blow off some steam before he attacks, and he'll do this in almost always the same order. So in theory, if you know what you're doing, you can beat him without grinding, but in practice, not so much. Because even if you use status ailments, he's still so much stronger than you that he'll often just one-shot you. Making this even worse, the bosses have access to status ailments as well, which means oftentimes you won't even be able to react because you're too busy being paralyzed, feeling strange, or friggin' solidified. Oh, and the bosses have too much HP. They just do, especially the later ones. So you're left in this kind of unfortunate situation where you have to grind for a while to even stand a chance of standing toe-to-toe with the bosses. I had to grind to level 8 to stand a chance against Mr. Nico. That should not happen. That is padding and bad design. Anyways, he's dead.
Why, Joffrey? Why?
Oh, look! A completely inconspicuous spaceship part that takes up no inventory space, and you'll probably forget about it years later, but it'll still be there!
Let's get out of here.
And evil Mr. Nico will never be mentioned or referred to ever again. But on the bright side, we at least now know that Mr. Higgins is a squirrel carrying a mug of justice and a machete served with a cold side of bacon. Whatever that means. So after all that grinding, we've naturally made quite a bit of money, and since we defeated Mr. Nico, some of the animals have come out of hiding. In the interest of preventing our party from falling behind even faster, we're going to buy some new equipment so we don't fall behind. And since this game has to do everything quirky and wacky, all of our equipment is sold to us by a black rabbit that talks like Cheech Marin, which is not a sentence I thought I'd be saying today. Man, killing innocent people and taking their money. Being a hero is great! Our next stop is inside a haunted supermarket or whatever. Sometimes the lights will go out. In which case, oh, I'm so excited to have to memorize the layout of an entire mall for more artificial padding. Inside the mall, we fight wonderful things such as asbestos monsters, snow warriors, disgruntled elves, and whatever the hell these things are. Oh, and a menorah that's angry and wants to kill you. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure to pick up some food and soys at your local mall on discount for a limited time only. All right, kids, say it with me. I can't see shit. 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 Oh, thankfully you can duck inside this room over here, and then when you come back out, you can see things again. But come on! That's stupid. You couldn't fix that? Really? Come on. Hey, kids! Do you want to see Santa? Well, too bad. There's a truck in the way. Don't you just hate that when you're shopping at the mall and some asshole just parks his truck in the middle of one of the stores? God, then you can't go inside and you gotta freaking call someone to get the truck moved out of the way. Detour time. Hey kids, look! It's Santa's torture dungeon where he beats all of his elves and keeps his presents. Yeah, for some insane reason, Santa keeps all his presents in this cave, and you gotta go through it to get the thing to get rid of the truck. The thing that gets rid of the truck is the pencil eraser from Earthbound. What? 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 Excuse me? You mean this tiny ass pencil eraser is going to obliterate this truck? What? Huh? Yeah, Ard whacks it against the truck and it just goes away. Do you realize what that means? So apparently you can just hit this big ass truck with an eraser until it fucking explodes. Now we're ready to take on Santa and ruin Christmas for millions of children across the globe. Let's do it.
Hello, Arn. I've been watching you for a long time. You're a good boy, but that won't help you now.
Wait, who are you?
Don't you know anything, Han? He's George Bush.
No! I'm Carmen freaking Sandiego! No, wait, I'm just Santa Claus.
But why, Santa Claus? Why? Why are you taking our Christmas tree?
Who is Santa Claus anyway? You look like a cheap knockoff of the annual gift man.
My dear Paula, I deliver presents to all children of the world, except for poor ones.
Why not poor ones?
Because Christmas isn't really about Jesus or candy or spiritual enlightenment. It's about money. That and candy.
Fine. I don't know why we're here anyway.
Let's fight.
What?
After that little exchange, we're finally prepared to take on Santa. Wait a second. Hold up. Satan Claus? Satan Claus. Toby, give me your comedy license back, Toby. You clearly don't know what you're doing. Really? Satan Claus? Oh, this is a lovely image, isn't it? A homeless person and a 10-year-old beating the ever-loving crap out of Santa Claus. Oh well, it's still not the worst thing to happen to Santa. Hey, remember how I said the bosses in this game have too much HP? And how Toby proudly proclaims that in the blurb he made for this game years and years ago? Well, this is the boss that has 1600 HP. And it's only the second boss in the game. It should go without saying that we got steamrolled again, so we're gonna have to grind more. All right, now nothing can stop us. We're ready to take on Santa. Oh, fuck, God damn it, no! Okay, let's calm down a bit. We can take on Santa, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. So we fight Santa again after about 20 minutes of grinding, and it goes a good bit better. He follows a pretty predictable pattern. First he'll try to lower your defense, and then he'll buff his offense. Then he starts attacking you. Once you do a set amount of damage, he'll change to either ice form or fire form, seemingly at random. Once you damage him enough in that form, he'll change to the form he isn't currently using. What you're supposed to do is simple enough. If he's in ice form, hit him with fire attacks. If he's in fire form, hit him with ice attacks. Once you beat him, he'll drop either a flame pendant or a water pendant, depending on the form he was in when he died. The flame pendant blocks most of the damage from fire attacks. The water pendant blocks most of the damage from ice attacks. Either one of these comes in handy later on. Note that you only get one from him, so use it wisely. I suggest putting it on Arn because he's already pretty tanky. Aside from that, he'll occasionally hit you with melee attacks, but if you can handle his magic, they shouldn't cause you any real problems. I'd honestly say he's easier to beat than Nico is if you're leveled up enough, mostly because you can actually use PSI effectively by this point.
Uh-oh, I killed Santa Claus again! I'm so sorry. I now realize that what I did was horrible, turning Christmas into a consumer holiday.
You're not Santa Claus at all, are you?
Yeah, I know, shut up.
Hooray! Yet another intangible spaceship piece that to work would have to be the size of a quarter. After brutally murdering one of the few bastions of joy in this cruel, cruel nightmare of a reality that we inhabit, the plot device that was blocking the way before is gone, and in its place is a dog person thing named Brian. Hello, friends.
Friends, we have no idea who you are or why you exist and why you are wearing a pinstripe suit.
Yeah, and don't even think of joining our party. We've got loads of mad scientist dogs just waiting to join, and it wouldn't be fair if you joined before them, right?
I'm not a mad scientist dog. I'm clearly a mutt, see?
Ah, that could be useful.
But he's ugly. Let's leave him here.
Wait, I'm shunned by the other people for accidentally switching my body with a human like in The Fly. Won't you pity me?
I'd hate to see the human. You can join if you never say anything again.
It's a deal.
You know what I love in JRPGs? When you get a new party member and he's at level 1 and you're at level 20 and he has no real offensive presence, so you have to watch him eat shit over and over until he's finally usable about an hour later. I love more grinding with a character I'm not familiar with. Thanks, Toby. You know what else I love? The fact that you can walk around in this snowy wasteland and get f***ing frostbite. I'm not even kidding. You walk around outside for too long, you'll get frostbite and you'll start taking damage in battle and in the overworld. The only way you can fix it is by napping on a bench. God, now that I think about it, you spend an awful lot of time sleeping on benches in this game. Kinda weird. Anyways, our destination for our next spaceship piece is this ice volcano in the middle of nowhere, I guess? Well, I say ice volcano, but on the inside, it just looks like a regular volcano, so I guess it's just a volcano. Whatever. Anyways, the enemies here are pretty bog standard. You got your bloodthirsty old men who want to kill you for going inside their mind and eating their thoughts. You've got ninja stars, you've got evil reindeer, and you've got the periodic table of elements. Oh my god! Oh, it's just zombies. Oh my god! They're zombies!
Oh my god! It's a giant bloodthirsty waffle! Oh my god!
Huh? Who are you?
I'm the great and mighty Thundermite, ruler of Yellow Dungeons, protractor of Purple Dungeons, editor of the Starman.net newsletter!
No, seriously, give us a spaceship piece and we'll be on our way.
We have spaceship pieces? I can't see them.
You're right. No one knows who I am. I was left out of the Earthbound strategy guide, and ever since that fateful day, people hardly care about me. There aren't any people on the internet making fan art of me, or named Thundermite42, or anything remotely interesting.
Yeah, Brian, I can't see them either. I forgot why we're getting them too. Really? Having a little motivation might help, you know.
If we get all 3 of them, we'll probably be able to go to the moon and talk to the annual gift man, because On isn't getting any Earthbound of Viry for some reason.
Really? That's tough. Can I speak for a second?
No, don't interrupt. Now, Brian, what were you saying? Well...
Guys, shut up! I'm mad about my popularity! With these peas, I could probably rule the world! Revengey.
Okay, what can you hope to accomplish with a single piece that doesn't do anything by itself?
Arrgh! You're done for! Super Thunderstorm Power Go!
What?
In spite of this guy's ego, he's really not all that tough. He uses weather-based attacks, unsurprisingly, so he'll hit you with a blizzard, he'll hit you with lightning bolts, that sort of thing. He'll occasionally use Brain Shock as well, but it seems to miss most of the time, so it's not really all that dangerous. Really, the only thing that makes him dangerous is his propensity for using melee attacks, and even then, if you grinded like I did, you're fine. Brian didn't even die in this fight, so it wasn't that hard. So while this guy has a big opinion of himself, he's really not that tough at all. Either I overprepared, or this guy's just easy, because out of all the challenging boss fights in this game, this one probably gave me the least trouble out of all of them. Aside from a boss fight I'll mention later, but that one's so forgettable it's barely worth talking about.
That was... beautiful. What do they call you?
Crudface?
Crudface. Take this spaceship piece and go.
This is fun.
So after that little diversion, we attempt to make our way through the rest of the volcano, but there's another plot device in the way. And unlike the first one, this one isn't going anywhere. Which means the only course of action left to us is to go back to our hometown and hope to God that there's something new. And indeed there is. If you look over here, you'll see... cow. Cow. Cow.
Oh, it's a cow. Hopefully it will do nothing bad. Move along, little witty. Move along.
The others watched in horror as a cow crushed all the... What?
What? Fucking what? Hold up! No! What? Hold the fucking phone! Excuse me? The cow crushed the cow crushed the whole reason we went on the thing and the cow just no! Excuse me? What? You just completely derailed your own plot line! Why would you do that? Hey, look, everybody! I'm a fucking orange!
Oh my fucking god. Okay, this is gonna seem like a tangent, but bear with me for a second. Remember the original Funimation dub of Dragon Ball Z? And how Frieza's voice was less Vito Corleone and more...
I hope you boys don't plan on ganging up on me now. That wouldn't be fair. 4 strong men against just one of me.
And more someone's grandma enjoying the last few years of her life where her body actually works correctly?
We can play if you'd like.
What the f was up with that voice anyway? It just doesn't fit Frieza at all. Everyone used to think Frieza was a woman, and can you blame him? God. And what is up with Sean Schemmel's performance as Nail? He's just whispering the entire time. That's not fun at all. It just sounds stupid.
Look, my friend is very old. He's dying as it is, and he doesn't need your help. You wouldn't harm him anyway.
Listen to that! That sounds dumb! Oh my god! You see what I did there? You see what I did there? What I did there is what this game just did. You take your established plot and just throw it away, flush it down the toilet for no reason other than so random! Ugh. Imagine if at the end of The Empire Strikes Back, Darth Vader tells Luke he's his father, and instead of going, no, that's impossible, Luke just says, okay, guess you're gonna take me to jail now. And he does, and he executes Luke, and the movie's over. How angry would you be? How disappointed would you be? What are we even doing anymore?
This whole mission is fucked. What the fuck happened to us, man?
Okay, so what I didn't mention before is that the annual gift man shows up out of nowhere to help you defeat the cow that's there blocking your house for some reason. It's just blocking your house. And then the annual gift man is gone after you defeat the cow because somebody abducted him, and I so don't care right now. Let's just keep going, I guess. There's no real reason to keep going, but I want to see this through to the end because you got me curious. What is the point? There's nothing new in our house, so I guess we go back outside and see if there's a new party member. Oh wait, there is.
It's an orange! Of course it's an orange!
How are you, gentlemen?
Well, we get signal.
We already have enough people on our team, dude.
But I'm Starman. I'm a prince from the Far East. I'm here to scorn Ebi Sumaru.
Cool. Brian, you can go home now.
There could be 4 people. We just don't like you.
Be wary, though. I lack the ability to eat human food, and I can't equip anything because I'm a Tangren.
Go home.
Let's call you Citri to scorn Ebi Sumaru even further.
Worry.
Okay, who the hell is Ebi Sumaru? Why is one of our teammates an orange? Okay. Citri can't equip anything because he's an orange, which means you gotta level him up, like you gotta do with Brian, which is fun, I guess. Let's go to the next area. God, this area is so uninspired. There's almost no new enemies here. Pretty much everything is just a very minor sprite edit or palette swap of stuff from the original Earthbound. It's just so low effort. It just doesn't feel like anything was done here at all. I'm kind of disappointed. Why even have this here? I mean, the plot's been derailed, and now it feels like the hack itself is getting derailed. Nothing's been changed, really. The only new enemy is the Nutcrasher, and the Nutcrasher. Oh, come on, that's dumb. And unsurprisingly, the Nutcrasher is really badass, to the point where I featured it in the intro for this, because it can tear into your party pretty quickly. Oh, hello there.
Oh, Copamondo! How are you doing, kiddies?
Pretty good. I mean, the person playing the game hasn't quit yet, right?
Give us the spaceship teleporty and you won't die.
Who? Sorry, I didn't hear you. My eyesight isn't what it used to be.
Starman!
Hey, don't swear! There are kids watching this too, you know.
Let me go get my backbone and we'll be off to the races. I want to talk.
Go home already.
You two have chemistry. You could be in an I'm gonna kill you.
What?
So we fight the... Ah! Oh, God, no! Ah! Oh, no! Ah! Ah! Oh, no! Ah! I don't usually draw attention to stuff like technical elements in music unless it's really good or really bad, and this is really bad! Oh my God! Just listen to it! Oh my God, Toby, what did you do to friggin' Frankie's theme? What did you do to it? He like swapped the instruments in the ROM or something and now it just sounds really bad. Why? Anyways, the enemy we're fighting here is the Starman Senior. Get it? Like Starman Senior Citizen? You get it? Cause in the original, the Starman Senior was like an elite general in Gygas's army or something, a really dangerous enemy. But here, he's just a harmless old man, and you're just beating up a harmless old man? You went inside an old man's mind just to kill him? What's wrong with you? I already made that joke, didn't I? Whoops. Anyways, this is probably the easiest boss in the game. Pretty much the only things he'll ever do are PSI Holy and basic PSI attacks, and occasionally he'll pray for you. The PSI attacks do next to nothing if you set up a barrier, and even if you don't, you can just recover your health easily. PSI Holy will cause a random status ailment or maybe cause death to one of your party members, but even then it's usually only one of your party members, and that's easy enough to fix. When he prays for you, it'll either heal every party member you have completely, or it'll take out one of your party members. But it seems to almost never do that second one, so pretty much every other turn he's completely healing you, which makes him even easier. He doesn't do that much damage at all, so this boss fight ends up being incredibly easy and pretty underwhelming. I don't think I even needed a grind. I probably could have beaten him straight after I beat the Thunderstorm dude.
Okay. Is that it? Isn't anyone gonna comment on the invisibility of the... Oh.
According to this plaque, the raw power of 1999 teleports us to the moon castle lair of the final enemy.
Yes, thank you.
Well, if this was here the whole time, why didn't we just come here in the first place and not trek after useless spaceship pieces that'd get trampled by a cow? Anyways, we're on the moon! The moon! And guess what the moon is? Another giant maze! Oh joy! Toby, you know exactly what I wanted for Christmas! Okay, let's take a nap at the park bench and get ready to suffer. This is where the game abandons any pretense of being fair. This is Blitzkrieg. He's an even stronger version of the reindeer from earlier, and he flattened my party! He just steamrolled me! A regular enemy steamrolled my party! And this is happening more and more! One of the enemies here is a refrigerator! And you see it until the end of the game! That's how powerful it is! Every time you fight it, it's life or death! This is ridiculous! And this maze is so convoluted and confusing. Ah! I don't even want to talk about this section. Oh my god! I will say this though, some of the enemies seem to have a bit more effort put into them now. So at least it's better than the Techno Ruins. I mean, look at this guy. This area is totally optional. Remember that, by the way. This area is totally optional. For serious. After fighting demon trees, we come across... We're in this weird green area where there's Simo and Mom written on the walls. Anyway, there's another truck and there's a switch on the truck. So we flip the switch and now we can go to the staircase that can sense fear. And when we climb the staircase, we're transported to... Oh, yo! Is this the Moonbase I was told about? Oh, man! I even like the remix Toby did here. This remix actually sounds really good. I know it's chiptune-y, but I'm actually quite fond of chiptunes. Give it a listen. Anyways, now that we're on the moon base, we need to figure out what's going on, since the plot's been completely derailed. None of the NPCs here are helpful at all, honestly. They have nothing useful to contribute, and they don't tell you what you're supposed to do. You talk to them, and all they say is that there's apparently ninjas, lots of ninjas on the moon base, and they're doing ninja things, and then you go to this car, and he says Toby Fox has ADD, and there's no winter in the game, and I thought that was a joke, but honestly, considering how haphazardly he discarded the plot, it might not be a joke. And there's a guy by the edge of the map that says he doesn't want to fall into the black void there, and he's glad he's not using a walk through walls code, so apparently the black void is a real thing, and if you cheat, you'll fall into it and become nothing. So we go outside, and we fight the ninjas, and there are ninjas that are doing bad things. Ninjas!
But he was abducted by ninjas! Ninjas! There are ninjas kidnapping people on TV! Ninjas! Kidnapping! TV! We're not stupid!
Oh god, these guys are impossible to hit! They're so slippery! They're like a jackrabbit high on cocaine coated in olive oil! That joke checks out, right? Okay, cool. There's also the bouncer guard, which is a combination bouncer and guard. Really getting your money's worth there. So after a while, we finally make it into whatever this place is. It's like a mansion or something. So apparently, there's this guy called Simon Bob who has an organization of ninjas that do his bidding, has corpses, has the annual gift man taken hostage, and I guess he's still around. and oh, my head hurts. So apparently Simon Bob has a syndicate of ninjas and has some sort of entertainment complex where he has people entertain while there's corpses. Let's just talk to Simon Bob and get this sorted out so I can go to sleep.
You guys are dead! Also, I'm innocent.
First of all, I want to say that your faceplate is the crappiest thing I've ever had the displeasure to behold.
No, it's not.
Secondly, I want to know how we even got to this place anyway.
Spaceship, duh. Why do you think we went to collect all the pieces?
We used a teleporter, remember? The pieces ultimately meant nothing.
That means they're still there! Woo! I didn't even notice! Scary. Okay, can I say something?
I haven't gotten one line in the entire game, guys.
Yeah, I got more than him. Go.
This hack really isn't about winter. It's about making fun of it not being about winter, and ultimately making fun of it not being about winter.
Point.
I wish I could wear pants.
I wish I could wear pants too. Well, while you've been talking, I've been absorbing energy from the annual gift man who I've disguised as my friend Lucky. Help!
Not so fast, Simon Bob! We've got the power of Dragon Master Alex on our side. That makes us Jesus, Moses, and Weird Al. And a tangerine?
No, let me do it.
I want to fight.
Fine.
Yeah! Here I go! Insert painful transformation laughter here, such as or oh crap, tee-hee! I am everything. I am nothing. I consume sandwiches and I'll consume you. Or maybe just a tangerine. Is that cannibalism? Nah. Cool.
Simon Bob is the second to last boss of the entire game, so it really shouldn't come as any surprise that he's incredibly challenging. I kept losing to him over and over and over again, and I kept grinding trying to fix that, but I'd still lose every time, and I couldn't figure out why. But eventually I realized you can't really beat Simon Bob in a straight up fight, especially with his minions helping him. You have to use strategy. And in the interest of not making you watch me die over and over and over again,
Ryan, look out!
I'm just gonna show you how to beat Simon Bob the right way, because Simon Bob's the hardest boss in the game that's still a legitimate challenge and not just completely unfair. So let me show you how to scratch it. So before you even think about attacking Simon Bob, you gotta deal with his lackeys first. They're like angels or Romans or whatever. That's not important. What is important is that they're very dangerous in their own right, and when they're working together with Simon Bob, they're nearly unstoppable, so you need to focus on them first. Specifically, you need to focus on the little guy, Hatred, this guy right here. He's Simon Bob's heavy hitter, and he can hit as many as 3 times in one turn, and all of his attacks hurt like hell. Special mention goes to Super Infinity Grand Slam Excite, which can do up to 500 HP of damage, so you're going to want to take him out ASAP. Depending on your strategy, you can use either Arn or Paula to cast Hypnosis on Hatred or on everybody, and then use that time to wail on Hatred while everyone else is asleep. You just beat up on Hatred until he's gone, and now all Simon Bob has is a healer. Apathy casts buffs and debuffs for Simon Bob, so we'll put up shields, raise Simon Bob's offense and defense, lower your offense and defense, heal Simon Bob, heal himself, heal everybody. It's really frustrating, but he's arguably less dangerous than Hatred or Simon Bob, so you should focus on him second. And the strategy is much the same. Just hit him with Hypnosis and beat the crap out of him and try to survive what Simon Bob throws at you. You can heal using Paula or Citri. They both have pretty good healing. And if you get stuck in a real jam, you can use whatever healing items you have, if you have any. And if you've been grinding, you should. Once Apathy's out of the way, you can finally start fighting Simon Bob. And oh man, what has Simon Bob done to himself? He's got like tentacles and lightning powers. Man, this guy's a nightmare. He has all 3 varieties of PSI, multiple melee attacks, including Infinity Grand Slam Excite, and he's got Brain Shock. To make it even worse, he can even heal himself. But if you're sensing a pattern here, your senses are good. All you gotta do is use Hypnosis and then buff yourself and then just unload into him. The only downside is the first attack that lands while someone is asleep will wake him right up. So what you need to do is put Simon Bob to sleep and then heal everybody. Heal everybody, put up a barrier, buff yourself whatever way you can before you attack him, or you're going to regret it very much. You can also have Citri transform into Simon Bob earlier in the fight. If Citri transforms, he'll stay in Simon Bob's form for quite a while and do a lot of Simon Bob's attacks, which can be useful, but he doesn't always pick the most useful things. so it's usually generally more reliable to just have him heal people. After that, the fight essentially just turns into a war of attrition, where you're trying to wear each other down. So really all you have to do is wait for Simon Bob to blow his wad and start using melee attacks because he's out of PSI power, because when he uses a melee attack, he'll only ever target 1 or 2 people, and that's much easier to manage than an attack that hits everybody on the field. It's much easier to heal when only 1 or 2 people are being targeted. After that, beating him is pretty straightforward. You just gotta make sure everybody's healed, and eventually he goes down.
No! It's impossible! I can't be defeated by youngsters yet! Darn. That was beautiful. What do they call you, brave warrior?
Beautiful, that sounds like a cool superhero name. They call me Arn. Beautiful Arn.
That's rad.
So why did you capture the annual gift man?
Well, if I wanted to be the best Earthbound player ever, I'd have to take away all the other Earthbound cards, right? Gotta stop circulation. It escalated further. There was only one person left on the planet that hadn't played Earthbound. That person was on.
Oh, Earthbound? I played that game. It sucks.
Crap. Anyways, all I had to do was put up a sign that said, "No one lives here, go away, annual gift man," and that would solve all my problems, see?
Right. But why'd you capture him?
With that much power, I could update Mailbag every day. I could rule the world. Yay! We saved EB Nomad Surrey.
Shut it! It's staff time!
Staff time!
Beef time!
Beef time!
Where are we? Where are we? Are we in Magic Camp?
Arn, I still feel pain where you wounded me.
Toby, you just dropped me in the middle of nowhere! Where are we? Toby, where are we? What is this place? Where are we? Where the f do I go? Where are we? Toby, help me! Where are we? Where the f? I screwed up. Oh god, here we go. Okay, so you remember how I said you had to talk to animals and I got really impatient and rushed through talking to all the animals? Well, turns out you should talk to all the animals because there's actually a collection side quest that you have to do to access the final area of the game and the final boss. You have to collect the 4 awesome items. So you talk to all the animals, then you beat evil Mr. Nico, and then you talk to this camel who gives you some sunglasses, and then you remember that optional dungeon I talked about earlier? You gotta go through there and get 2 of the awesome items from that dungeon, and then you gotta go down to the sewers that I didn't mention before, the sewers connecting the entrance to Simon Bob's Moonbase to the actual outdoor part of Simon Bob's Moonbase. Why does the sewer water moan when you step in it? Anyways, that truck is blocking the last awesome item, so you gotta get rid of it. But in order to get rid of the truck, you gotta get another pencil eraser from the cat, who wants a cat that's hidden outside, you know, the moon base where everybody's wandering around. You talk to the cat gives you the pencil eraser, and then you can use the pencil eraser to hit the truck to get the really rad rock and destroy another truck with a pencil eraser! God, does Arn, like, have a personal vendetta against trucks? Does Toby? What the heck? And now you have the 4 items, but now, you gotta backtrack all the way to the cave. There's an area in the cave right before the green room I didn't mention with this guy, and if you talk to him while you have all the awesome items equipped on all the right characters. Oh, did I mention that? They have to be equipped on the right characters. All the items have to be equipped on the right character as well. You talk to him, and you get the secret ending. Now all we have to do is fight Simon Bob again and do it right this time.
Mailbag every day! I can rule the world!
Wait, Simon Bob never updates Mailbag. You're not Simon Bob!
You people are no fools. I'm none other than Mr. Accident himself. See you in a place no man will ever find. I'll be concocting my next brilliant strategy of destruction.
You're going down. We'll find your place.
We may be stupid and random, but we can kick butt when we need to. Except Brian. He's a wiener.
Smell you later forever.
You might have noticed something by now if you've been paying attention, but if you haven't, I'm going to point it out to you. The people and characters in this game have ceased to be Toby's original creations and have started becoming Starman.net forum members. And I'm dead serious about that. Like, from Simon Bob onwards, pretty much everybody here that isn't an enemy is a Starman.net forum member, so they're based on real people. They're not even original characters, they're just based on Starman.net forum members. And considering this was made like 15 years ago, it's kind of an accidental time capsule of Toby's life on the forum. And I don't even remember the forum, so like, it ends up being this kind of weird thing like the Nameless mod, where it's a big inside joke, and if you're not a part of it, you're not going to enjoy it because you don't know who any of these people are. And then the thought crossed my mind that some of these people might be dead. Like, it's been 15 years, it's not outside the realm of possibility that some of the people this refers to might be dead. I mean, if you're a Starman.net forum member and you're watching this, feel free to explain what's going on and if this has any relevance to anything, because I'd love your input in the comments. But outside of that, this just doesn't hold up on its own because it's just a bunch of in-jokes for Toby and his friends. It's just not funny, it's not entertaining, and it's kind of weird, really weird. Like, everybody knows who Sans the Skeleton is, and you don't need knowledge of an entire forum for that. Let's just make it through the final area and get to the end so we can stop Mr. Accident.
I'm Simon Bob. I'm not a bad guy. I'm just in the right place at the wrong time.
While we're on the topic of the Starman.net forums, Toby Fox himself actually posted very early development screenshots of Undertale on a completely irrelevant forum thread and pretended it was part of an Earthbound ROM hack. Gotta love him.
I'm phone, don't pass this place or you could die and have to go back where Simon Bob is, and you can come back, but after that, so seriously don't do it unless you're looking for an accident or something.
And after that irrelevant nonsense and talking to pretty much everybody just for funsies, we're ready to explore the final area of the game. This is also a giant maze, but I have less of an issue with this one being a giant maze because it's the last area of the game. It's kind of supposed to be challenging, which is fine. And a good chunk of the enemies here have had some effort put into them, so I think I should go over them. These guys are apparently based off of drawings Toby used to make when he was younger, so that's pretty neat. They also drop a really rare item for Citri, but you have to kill them a lot for them to get it to drop, and it's not really worth the time, but it's definitely fun to try and get it. You also fight the pure carbon here, but at this point you're so much stronger than it is that it presents no real challenge at all. You can also run into Tokage? Takagi? Tukage? Tokage? Oh god. All I know is he puts top hats on you that make it so you can't control your character properly, and you gotta go find a park bench to fix it, and they're almost nowhere because it's the end of the game. Oh god, now that I think about it, this game's basically what it's like to be a homeless person, isn't it? Just constantly napping on park benches and getting really angry at people that probably don't deserve it. And then you come across Herman, who just wants to be friends with you. And like any good friend, he gives you a reassuring thumbs up right before he high-fives you so fucking hard it breaks every bone in your body. If you see this dragon guy, run away, run screaming, run fast. He has PSI Holy Omega, which almost always just kills your entire party. It's totally unfair. He gives a lot of experience and some great items, but he's just not worthy. You just better bail, honestly. Anyways, after all of that, we finally find this tentacle, which takes us to whatever this place is, I guess, and we fight this guy and oh no. Oh no. This is the last normal enemy in the game, and it's completely unstoppable. Oh, I don't stand it. Oh god, no, why? Okay, originally I was going to put this after the last boss, but I feel for the sake of not breaking up the flow of the video, it's better that I talk about it here. And I'm gonna dismiss with the comedy and just give my serious thoughts on this. This is terrible, like the title said. For a first effort, it's actually quite well done, all things considered. You have to remember that in 2006, the landscape for Earthbound ROM hacks was very different to what it is now. So that Toby pulled this off at all is sort of remarkable. There's a lot of work that's gone into this, but on the same token, there's no charm, no heart, no soul. None of the comedy stands up on its own. It's all references to stuff you've heard or seen before, and it's not charming. There's no coherent plot. The characters aren't particularly memorable, and it's not Toby. Like, it's missing so much of the soul and charm that made Undertale special, that made the Halloween hack special, that'll probably make Deltarune special. It's just not the same. It feels so empty in comparison. It just feels like a bunch of events happening to you with no real meaning behind them. It's just a thing that exists. It's small wonder nobody else has covered it. It's just so utterly forgettable. And even all the art that's gone into it, even the stuff Toby was experimenting with, doesn't really change that. I have to admit, it's impressive that Toby made this at such a young age. He was a younger teenager when he made it, but it's just not good. And maybe it's not fair to compare this to Undertale or stuff Toby made later, because it's clear he's improved by leaps and bounds as a composer, writer, entertainer, you name it. And to be entirely honest, that's probably true, but like, this is something I could make. And I'm not saying that to toot my own horn. I legitimately have the skills to make something like this. I could not make something like Undertale. Toby's improved so much over the years that it's not even funny. So it's kind of crazy to see something this bad from Toby Fox. And in its own weird way, it kind of still does have a charm. I did laugh at some of these jokes, but all in all, it's really not worth your time. That being said, this definitely still feels like it could have been made by...
Wow, that's really well aligned.
Hi, everybody!
Hi.
Here I am at the Eating Food Factory, my favorite place, where I eat food. I'm here with my best friend from Undertale, Pac-Man. Waka waka! Hey, Pac-Man, are you hungry? Because I sure am. Me too. I wish I had a peach to eat. Oh, I got a surprise.
Now we'll see if Toby has a third hand.
I'm gonna eat it!
That. Anyways, going back to the topic at hand, we snuck past all the enemies, so now it's time for the final boss. Let's rock.
So you finally got here, losers! Mr. Accident, why are you doing any of this? We've known you to be a good person. Do you honestly think so? I created a monster, Map Editor 4, that at first appeared to be delightful and useful. As time wore on, however, people have discovered that my map editor is a little bit, well, corruptive. I love pain and misery. I believe that the only way to be fulfilled is to be with the one you love, and therefore I must cause as much pain and suffering as I can! Anyone that used my map editor was never seen again! And yet it consistently received praise from people too lazy to use it! I'll have a lot of fun destroying you foolish buttzers!
Why'd you pretend to be Simon Bob?
I killed him and he was going to take over Ibi no Matsuri anyway, so I figured I might as well do it for him!
That's caring.
Enough talk! Allow me to show you my true power and form! When I combine with Map Editor, I become an invincible demonic force capable of corrupting souls! Prepare to die!
Like you'd probably expect, this is a much stronger version of Simon Bob. But what you probably wouldn't expect is that he's so much stronger that even at level 99, you can't beat him. Because he has Omega level versions of all of the PSI attacks, and I do mean all of them, and he has this attack that summons a storm that has a random chance of legitimately killing every single party member you have in one attack. You can't fight back against that. There's no way to win against this guy. I tried. I leveled up to 99 with a cheat code, and that still wasn't enough. I still got beaten so many times, and eventually after hours and hours of trying, I just threw my hands up and did a friggin' infinite HP code, and then I beat him. Ugh. I'm not even gonna bother talking about strategy because there's no need to talk about strategy. You just gotta cheat to beat him. I don't know what Toby Fox was thinking. This is completely unfair. Pillow shoe, Arn's first weapon. It's a shoe with a pillow attached to the end. Trying to hurt anyone with this weapon is completely futile unless you're having a pillow fight. The that one with the little girl that will always get hurt, start crying, call her mom, and be brought home.
Darn that Stacy ruining your slumber party!
Oh my god, what is that? Is that? Oh no! It's Death Earthbound. Weird. He corrupted his own data. Cool. Yay! We saved Ibi no Matsuri forever!
Now the island won't fall.
Credits time!
Hey, can I?
Wait, what? No, it just jumps into the credits? That's it? That's how it ends? What? No! Oh, come on! At least tell me what happens to these characters! Come on, Toby, really? Oh, you can't end it so abruptly like that. Oh. Yeah, thanks, Radiatio! Oh, I can't believe you ended it so abrupt. Hey, Audiospawn here. I just want to thank you for making it all the way to the end of this video. It was a considerable chunk of both your and my time. I worked on this for several months, as you might have been able to tell, so I hope that the end result of my work was worth the wait. And if not, oh well. Anyways, if you liked this video, consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. And if you really like this video and want to see more like it, consider supporting me on Patreon. And if not that, then consider providing suggestions in the comments. I'm always looking for new things to make. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. There is actually one enemy I forgot to mention that's based on a Starman.net forum member. If you go outside Simon Bob's Moonbase and talk to this guy here, you'll fight Gamma Raid, who's like an optional boss. He's actually easier than Simon Bob, but if you beat him, you get a special message from Toby with him asking you if you think it's fair to use speed up and save states when you're playing a ROM hack on an emulator. So that's pretty neat.